And welcome here to race number 10 of the season for the TNR Master Millwright Big Block Series. Getting ready to go racing here in the twilight of Limaland Speedway as we are getting ready for 35 laps of green flag racing. But first, we've got our qualifying heats to get through to set the official starting lineup for tonight's main event. 5 drivers going to take part in this first heat. David Harvey will line up as the pole sitter alongside of John Borscht. Nicholas Chambrone, former winner this season, alongside of Ethan Fisher in row 2. And Mike Tellier will roll off from the 5th position. This is going to be, not counting Kokomo where these drivers are at in the second race of the season, the shortest track these drivers have been to so far on the schedule. 1/4 of a mile in length. Not a whole lot of space to work with, and these laps, obviously, with it being as short a track as it is, will tick away very quickly. So drivers that end up qualifying towards the rear of the field for the main event race are probably going to have to punch it sooner rather than later and make their way to the front very quickly because they're not going to have a whole heck of a lot of time to be able to work with. But we'll see who's going to qualify where based off of our qualifying heats, and we're underway in heat number 1. We almost were 3 wide at the start-finish line there. Nicholas Chambrone and John Borscht got good jumps. Tried to think about taking David Harvey 3 wide, and now we are 3 wide there for the second position. Look at Chambrone. Whoa! A little contact between himself and David Harvey, and that sent his car up into the air. Talking about Chambrone, who now dives to the inside. Look at this. It's not a spacious racetrack, but these drivers are utilizing every limited available room every lane they can, and one car is in the wall. That's Borscht. Had to check up for David Harvey. Ethan Fisher almost ran into the back of him for his troubles. Fisher now way up the track there in a 3-way battle for third. Chambrone continuing to try and get the inside line going against David Harvey, and will do so to no success just yet. Harvey continues to get the advantage on the top side, especially towards the middle of the straightaway where the start-finish line is. Ooh, that time was close. I think it was still Harvey by inches. Now, Harvey's going to get cleared, and he crosses over to the inside of Chambrone. Not a lot of room for error down that inside line. You can see that there are tires that stick in out of the ground. You don't want to hit those. That will upset your car tremendously. I think Chambrone now going to go to the point. These drivers have a qualifying session before these heats to determine which heat they're going to be in. Nicholas Chambrone was the fastest in that qualifying session, and he is going to work his way to the lead here with 2 laps to go when he comes around this time, looking to pick up 5 valuable bonus points with winning the first heat race. Of the drivers that are in the battle for the championship here, with only 3 races left on the schedule, none of them are here in the first heat, which means the odds are that we may end up seeing a number of them in the same heat together here in the upcoming second and third heat, as through 3 and 4 for the final time, Nicholas Chambrone is going to come to the start-finish line. He will win heat number 1. David Harvey will finish second. There was a good battle there for third between Ethan Fisher and John Borscht. Fisher will take it, Borscht in 4th, and Mike Tellier brings it home in 5th place. Now sets us up for our second heat, which will have 6 drivers in total. Josh Gerlach going to be the pole sitter for this one, alongside of the current points leader, Bobby Trapper. Tony Lucarelli is going to make up row 2 with Austin Allen. Kenneth Drake, who's trying to run down Bobby Trapper for that points leader for that championship, but time and points are kind of running out for him. He's going to roll off 5th alongside of Garrett Gleason. Points gap between Trapper and Drake coming to this race is 66 points. And that is a lot to ask of a driver to cut into with only 3 races left on the season, even if in 2 weeks' time when we go to Charlotte, that is a double points event. That's still an awfully tall task to ask of a driver with a limited number of races left on the schedule. Bobby Trapper may have sealed the deal actually last week at Knoxville, picking up his 4th win on the season. And just to add a little bit more fuel to the fire there, last season the Big Block Series had 6 races on their schedule. 2 of those races were at Limaland, and one of those 2 races was won by Bobby Trapper. Pace car, pace truck, should head to pit road this time. 2 laps of pacing at short tracks for these drivers. Now the green flag's in the air, and we're underway for heat number 2. So Kenneth Drake and Bobby Trapper find themselves in the same heat. Trapper going to try and finish ahead of that 71, continue to accumulate points. As there's going to be a car around. No caution. Oh, wait, there's a caution that's going to come out for it. It came out a little bit later there than what I was originally expecting, but Tony Lucarelli looping it around in turn 2 is going to bring out the yellow flag here in the second heat. Let's go back and see what happened. Only the green flags count in the heat races, bear in mind, so there will be 9 to go when we come back to the green flag, and Lucarelli's going to drive it in deep. Car got a little bit upset right there. I don't know if he hit one of the tires jutting out or not. Oh, and then kind of a 1-2 punch from Bobby Trapper and Kenneth Drake. Trapper comes down, gets him in the right front, and then that spins him off the nose of Kenneth Drake 71. So caution's going to fly. No heavy contact exchange between any driver, so everybody should be still good to go and still in the hunt for the victory here in this heat. Wow, you saw right there the wheel spin, trying to get the thing up through the gears for Josh Gerlach. Nearly looped that thing around for his trouble. Speaking of looping around, Kenneth Drake. He saved it with a little help from, a little assistance from Lucarelli's 41. That's going to drop him all the way back to 5th place. The guy that loves to see that right now is Bobby Trapper. If Trapper didn't ice it last week with his win at Knoxville, if he finishes ahead of Kenneth Drake here in this heat race, he could very well ice it right there, gaining right at the moment what would be another 3 points over Kenneth Drake if Drake can hold on to that 5th position. And Trapper wants this heat win. Look at this. Looking to the inside of Josh Gerlach. Not quite able to get the pass completed. 40 bonus points coming into this race for Bobby Trapper. That includes bonus points for his finishes in heats. I'm not sure exactly just how many heat races he has. I don't have that number to hand right now this season. But he has won quite a number of the heat races, gotten that maximum 5 points before even getting into the main event. As he continues to try that inside line against Josh Gerlach. We saw the inside line work with Nicholas Chambrone getting around David Harvey back in the first heat. So we'll see if Trapper can get the inside line to work here with 2.5 laps to go. Looks like he can get alongside entering the corner, but then that car wants to push up. And he's not able to get back to the throttle as soon as he wants to from the center off. That's allowing Josh Gerlach to get him at the start-finish line by about half a car length every single lap. This time it's going to be by about a full car length, as it's going to be the white flag here for Josh Gerlach. Gerlach, to my knowledge, I don't think has a heat win. Can't say that now. He's going to pick up win number 1, I think, in terms of heats here in heat number 2, followed by Trapper, Lucarelli. Kenneth Drake did work his way up to 4th. Austin Allen dropped from 3rd back to 5th in the final few laps, and Garrett Gleason is going to finish 6th, so he'll be the only driver in the second heat that will not get heat points. Final 5 drivers going to head out onto the track. A couple of drivers that are not in the field here tonight we'll get to in just a moment. Some notables up inside of the top 5 in the points. Debuting Anthony DeBarro will be lining up on point for this heat alongside of the 4 of Brian Ruble. We got a nice little story there about Brian in just a moment. James Allen will roll up on the inside of row 3 alongside of Bobby Puckett, and Zane Burke Jr. will be rolling off the final car in this heat in 5th place. Notable names that are not in the field here tonight, 4 of them up inside of the top 7. 3 of them up inside of the top 7. Jason Freeman, 3rd in points. Billy Thornton, who is also actually 3rd in points. He and Freeman were tied at 398 points apiece coming into tonight's event. Neither one in the field. Same for Thomas Oleski, who always seems to be a driver that is very much in the thick of things in the heat races. 7th in points. He is not going to be taking the green flag for tonight's main event either, as the green flag now flies for the 3rd and final heat. Brian Ruble trying the outside line against Anthony DeBarro. Oh, look down here. chops off the nose of Bobby Puckett. Almost the same for James Allen. But Ruble is going to move into second place with a very gutsy maneuver. And somehow he was able to keep that thing going straight. Now Brian Ruble, you'll notice a slightly different livery than what we're used to seeing him run. He is running a throwback tribute car for his childhood race car hero, Bob Puckett. Brian Ruble says that Bob Puckett's been a father figure to him, and he wanted to tribute tonight's race to him. And what better way to tribute the race to him than to maybe pick up a heat win here, but he's got his hands full with the 40 of Bobby Puckett to his outside. And Bobby Puckett's going to take that spot. Ruble's going to drop back into the clutches now of James Allen in the 47 for that third position. Anthony DeBarro, great run right now here for his debut. We saw a driver win in his debut earlier on this season with Nicholas Chambrone picking up a victory in only his first career start here in the TNR Master Millwright Big Block Series. So Anthony DeBarro would love to do the same. He could start that off by picking up a heat win going coast to coast here in these 10 laps. He'll hit the line here next time around for 3 laps to go as we watch this battle for, I can't tell if this is second or third. Looks like it's going to be for third place as Puckett is going to pull away. Ruble now looks to driver's right, sees James Allen to his top side. And Allen might actually get the spot here. So we're starting to see that the outside line, remember these drivers are running a track that the first and second heats already ran on. So the track is very well rubbered in that outside line, and that's allowing James Allen to swing around Brian Ruble for the third position. White flag will fly for Anthony DeBarro in the 27. There's a couple more corners around this very short quarter-mile dirt track. Nobody to challenge Bobby Puckett right now, running quite a ways back. And he will finish second place. Will Puckett to Anthony DeBarro. What a great job here in his debut in this series. A heat victory. James Allen, Brian Ruble. They were in third and fourth. And bringing up the final spot was... all of a sudden I drew a blank. I'll think of it. So now they're going to get themselves gridded up based off of where they finished in their heat races. And James Allen will line up on point in what I believe is his debut. I'll have to double check on that. He'll be alongside Tony Lucarelli, Ethan Fisher, and Bobby Puckett. They'll make up row 2. Points leader Bobby Trapper will roll off alongside David Harvey in row 3. Anthony DeBarro, Josh Gerlach in row 4. Row 5, Nicholas Chambrone and John Borscht. Kenneth Drake, Brian Ruble back in row 6. Row 7 with Mike Tellier and Austin Allen. Zane Burke will roll off from 15th. Don MacArthur was scheduled to roll off 16th, another former winner this season, but he did not make the start into his heat and right now is not listed on the grid. So it looks like Garrett Gleason will actually pull up alongside of Zane Burke to roll off from the 16th position. So 16 drivers will take the green flag here tonight at Limaland for 35 laps of green flag racing. Just a reminder, folks, be sure to tune in a little bit later on tonight. We're doing a little bit of a double header here this Tuesday evening on the Flatout Racing Network. We're bringing you coverage here tonight from Limaland for the TNR Master Millwright Big Block Series, and then around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we go green for the G-Force Sim Racing Hygiene Clothing Cup Series at Texas Motor Speedway, coming off the heels of an exciting all-star race last week. Green flag is out, 35 laps at Limaland. We are racing 3 wide into turn 1 already, almost 4 wide, almost 5 wide. My gracious, these drivers, very limited space, as I mentioned, with this being only a quarter of a mile in length, but they are using every bit of this racing surface. They're 3 wide back there again. Bobby Trapper, oh, we got a spinner. Lucarelli is around. Now Chambrone is spun around on the inside of 3 and 4. Caution is going to fly. Somebody got the 41. I'm not sure who it was. It might have been David Harvey. We'll double check, but I know that someone hit him when he spun, talking about Lucarelli. And then Chambrone went on the inside 4 wide, door banged somebody, spun around over in 3 and 4. Oh, and Lucarelli actually went up and over. Here's a look at it. No contact with Ethan Fisher, and then, yeah, tried to move up the track. David Harvey was there. Oh, and actually the shot was Borscht in the 000. And who is that right there? I can't tell whose car that is. Is that the 27? It is. 27 of Austin Allen. And look at there, Garrett Gleason. Give that man the Good Samaritan Award here tonight as he flips Lucarelli back onto his wheels so that way he can continue on in this race and not have to call a tow. Green flag has come back out. It just went back in the air. And James Allen's going to get us back underway. We're going to have to kind of really quickly go through replays here because it doesn't take them long at one of the shortest tracks in the schedule to get these pacing laps done before getting back to green flag racing for these fans. Bobby Puckett looking to the inside, but nothing there on James Allen. Way up the track is the 17 of David Harvey. Looked like Kenneth Drake was almost up against the wall as well. Look at that. There's about, maybe 3-4 lanes available to these drivers, and there's at least one driver in every lane every time they go into the corner in 1 and 2, as well as over in 3 and 4. This is where all the fun is. Right here around the 4th position. Bobby Trapper, Josh Gerlach, David Harvey in the mix. And despite getting that hit in that first incident, John Borscht looks like he is still up to speed, still competitive right now, holding down 7th place. As Bobby Puckett doggedly on that inside line, and he will slide job and clear James Allen. Allen with the runoff of 4. He'll look for the crossover. He tries a slide job of his own. Now Puckett back to the inside. And Ethan Fisher's looking at this saying, do I dare stick my nose in 3 wide? Whoa, that time the slide job almost didn't work. Little contact might have been exchanged between those two. And on board with Ethan Fisher, taking a good front row seat of this battle for the lead, which has been exchanged at least 3 times in the last couple of laps. There's some contact exchanged as Puckett tries around the outside. Fisher goes up a 3rd groove. More contact there off of turn 2. Fisher saying, hey, I might as well go where they ain't. He jumps up to the 3rd lane. He's going to try and get around James Allen for 2nd. As it looks like maybe Bobby Puckett has the 47 cleared for the top spot. Yes, he does. Josh Gerlach, Bobby Trapper continuing to battle for 4th. This is looking very treacherous off the corners, as if the 071 could think about 3 wide with the 69 and the 72. How about the fact these guys have been able to stay under the green flag? We've had some great 3 wide racing, sometimes 4 wide racing, and only 1 caution so far here tonight. And really, aside from the Lucarelli flip, it hasn't really been anything catastrophic. As a matter of fact, Lucarelli still is up to speed. Didn't even come to pit road for a fast repair there under that caution. Ooh, that's tight between Fisher and Puckett. We are 3 wide for 2nd, 3rd. Maybe both at the same time. Now that time it's for 3rd as, boy, James Allen's in a rock and a hard place situation. He looks to his left, sees Josh Gerlach, looks to his right, and sees Ethan Fisher. Now they get themselves to about double wide. And back to 3 wide. Gerlach stuck in the middle again. Bobby Trapper trying to pick up his league-leading 5th win on the season. Can he get around Bobby Puckett? Puckett almost was clear, but he barreled back on the outside line to take the top spot back. Trapper, we know, loves the shorter way around the track, and mentioned as well he is a former winner here from last season at Limaland. He won the 2nd Limaland race back in Season 1. The initial winner at Limaland, which was actually the season opener back in Season 1, was Jason Griffith. Oh, Gerlach! Out of shape back there. And he's going to get looped around right in front of Brian Ruble. Caution's going to come out. Look out! 29 got into him of Zane Burke Jr. And the 071 is upside down. I think maybe, he's going to have to teleport. I think Burke Jr. was going to try and flip him back over, but he wasn't able to get the car put in reverse in time. And I'll tell you who did not want to see that caution come out, and that would be Bobby Trapper, because Trapper now is going to have to try and figure out how to get around Bobby Puckett, as well as hold off the rest of his competition. He had Bobby Puckett kind of in a 1v1 situation. It was making that inside line work. Let's quickly go back here since we don't have a whole lot of time. See what happened to Josh Gerlach. He was out of shape already, and it looked like that was in the middle of 3 and 4, and then he's trying to gather the thing back up. Gets a tag from behind by, I think that was Chambrone 01, and there right there, he's trying to get the thing turned around. Burke Jr. comes sliding in, and unfortunately just nowhere to go. Flips the 071 over, and Josh Gerlach had to teleport it to pit lane. Green flag back in the air. We're back just in time. Bobby Puckett and Bobby Trapper. Oh, wow, David Harvey back there riding the outside wall. They took the green with 16 laps to go. And Trapper around the outside line is going to take the race lead. He tried the inside. It wasn't working. Outside line prevails. He goes to the point. Ethan Fisher going to slot into second place. Puckett now under fire from James Allen for third place. Let's drop back a little bit here and see where second in points Kenneth Drake is. He's kind of back in the proverbial eye of the storm right now with Anthony DeBarro, our winner from the third heat. John Borsch, Brian Ruble, Tony Lucarelli all back in this mix. As David Harvey might have gotten the wall there off the corner. Nicholas Chambrone, look at him. Whoa, contact. Oh, that's a wheelie there. Front tires were off the ground. Side swipe by John Borsch. Borsch going to make some contact with Ruble. We're almost 5 wide coming off of turn 4. Oh, we got flippers. Chambrone, I believe, was one of them. DeBarro was another. He gets back on his wheels. John Borsch was involved in that. I think the 29 might have gotten a piece as well of Burke Jr. We had a flipper and possibly an airborne car here at Limaland. As we go back and see what happened here in 1 and 2. David Harvey was battling hard with Josh Allen. Oh, look at that. Yep. 27 gets up into the wall. Look at how much airtime he got up into the catch fence. And DeBarro. Tough debut for him. He's got that heat win, but he was obviously looking for a much better performance here in the main event. Doesn't look like he came to pit road, however, for a fast repair. Not really anybody has in this race. The only 2 drivers right now that are in danger of not finishing on the lead lap are Josh Gerlach, who had to teleport to pit road. He's right now 5 laps down and still sitting in his stall. And also Garrett Gleason has pulled his car into pit road about 11 laps ago. So looks like he will probably, with the number of laps allotted to us for this finish, probably finish in 16th place. Bobby Trapper back up through the gears. He is gone. Battle's going to be for third. Oh, look at this. Crowding up the track. Bobby Puckett, as well as, I believe that was James Allen, the 47. Kenneth Drake trying the inside line. Whoa, look at Ruble back there with Austin Allen. They were in a very tight 4-wide situation. Both cars running in the middle line. And look at this. Door banging back here, leaning on each other. 21, or make that the 027, I'm sorry. Of Anthony DeBarro got up in the air. Oh, and now he's going to loop it around right in front of Ruble. Keeps it straight. Everyone's still going. No caution. As we move back up to the front, Bobby Trapper hasn't won this race yet. Ethan Fisher is there, and he is hounding him. And with the gap that Bobby Trapper has in the points, I don't think that Ethan Fisher is going to have any qualms about moving Bobby Trapper out of the way to pick up his first win on the season. Driving it deep into the corner, getting right to the back bumper of Bobby Trapper. But he's going to have to make that move sooner rather than later. So that way he makes sure that the pass is complete. Caution's out, however. It's going to be Nicholas Chambrone. And we got a car upside down. David Harvey has flipped upside down there over in turn 3. It's at least the 3rd flip that we have had here today. Actually, no, it's the 4th flip that we've had here today. And let's see what happened. I think this might have actually started up with the 17 of David Harvey, who has now taken his car back to the garage area. He was by his lonesome. Oh, nope, it was the 47. Harvey comes flying in, as does Chambrone. So James Allen actually the cause of that caution. Not sure if he got some help there from Bobby Puckett or not. This was a crossover that Puckett puts on him. Puts him up into the wall, and then those right tires just catch. clips the right rear of Harvey. Nowhere for Chambrone to go. Green flag's back in the air. We're going to try and get back here quickly. It's Bobby Trapper, Ethan Fisher, Bobby Puckett, the top three on the high line. Kenneth Drake, the first car on the inside line, in fourth place. Then Tony Lucarelli, a great comeback for him after an early issue. He's now back up beside the top five. Speaking of five, it's 5 laps to go. 4.5 and about to be 4 for Bobby Trapper. Ethan Fisher trying to get back into that rhythm, get up to the back of the 69. If he's going to make the move, he's going to have to try a slide job because it looks like Bobby Trapper is sending the message that he is going to run up on that outside line for the remainder of this race. He's not going to defend the inside line, so you got to go where he is not if you're going to try and win this race. Top five have broken away from the rest of the field, and it's just a mano-a-mano at the front of the field between Bobby Trapper, the 4-time winner, and Ethan Fisher, who's only made a couple of starts this season and is looking for his first career win here in the Big Block Series for TNR. White flag will be displayed this time. Trapper slipped up the track just a tiny little bit there. Fisher tries to get to his inside. He's within striking distance. Ooh, a little slip up there in turn two. He's got to drive it deep here. He's got to try the slide job. Does he? Oh, he might not be close enough. Tries to get back to the throttle, but he cannot. Bobby Trapper is going to pick up win number 5 on the season. It's the second time this year that he will go back-to-back. And if there were any questions on whether he had the championship locked up last week when he took a checkered flag at Knoxville, I think that the answer is definitely a resounding yes here today at Limaland Raceway. Only 2 races left on the season, and Kenneth Drake, who dropped all the way back to 12th, is going to have to overcome, I believe, an insurmountable amount of points between now and Charlotte in 2 weeks' time. Great run there for Ethan Fisher, though. Fisher was making his second start on the season, finished top 10 in his debut, which I believe was back at Cedar Lake when he brought it home with what was then his best finish of the season, 6th place. He betters that here today. And a good run there for Bobby Puckett. Bobby Puckett's a guy that we see up in the top 10 week after week, not necessarily up in the podium week after week, and he's going to get himself a podium finish here today, bringing it home in the 3rd position. Take a look at the rest of the finishing results, and a couple of other names here with some comeback runs that received some damage at some point or another, getting involved in wrecks during the course of this 35-lapper. John Borsch bringing it home for 4th, and Anthony DeBarro in his debut bringing it home 5th. How about Brian Ruble in that Bob Puckett throwback? He'll bring it home with a solid 6th. Austin Allen 7th. Then Tony Lucarelli, James Allen, and Mike Tellier completed the top 10. 11th place for Zane Burke Jr. The rest of the drivers to finish the race were Kenneth Drake in 12th and Nicholas Chambrone in 13th. With Drake finishing 12th to Bobby Trapper's win here tonight, I think the championship is all but locked up. Now it's basically just down to who wants to get the final 2 checkered flags of the season next week at Fairbury and the following week in the double points race at the dirt track at Charlotte. Drivers that did not make it to the conclusion of this race: David Harvey, Josh Gerlach, and Garrett Gleason. Don MacArthur is going to get credit for 17th, despite not taking the green flag in either his heat or in the main event. Well, let's even go down trackside and talk with our top 3 finishers here today at Limaland. Let's kick things off with our 3rd place finisher, Bobby Puckett. Hey, Bobby, it's Seth up here in the FRM booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Wow. So it looked like coming into tonight's race, just based on the way that this track's configured, 1/4 mile in length, not a whole lot of space, so to speak, but man, you guys used up every inch of this racetrack, double wide, 3 wide, and on occasion 4 wide racing, and you kind of had to work your way through traffic to get yourself up to that 3rd place finishing position. So how difficult was it with the fact that there were very limited options in terms of what lane you could run?
I don't believe it was too bad to get up there. Just had to wait for somebody to either slide up too high or go way too low on me. And then I could make my way through.
We saw that you were really good in your heat race as well. Was there anything that you were able to learn about this racetrack or about your car in particular in the heat race that then transferred over to this main event? Or does the track surface seem entirely different between a heat race and a main event race?
I feel like you could run the middle line in the beginning of the feature and be faster. and then towards the end, you kind of got to run the top side.
Now, I know when we talk with drivers week after week, they always say they go out there with the goal of racing everybody with respect. But with Bobby Trapper winning here tonight, we basically calculated he's got the championship locked up for the final 2 races. Now, does that change the mentality of, hey, I got an opportunity to go out there and end this season with a W? I'm going to be as aggressive as I possibly can, make sure that I am going to be in victory lane before season's end.
Yeah, I think I'd like to at least have one win before the season ends here. I know we have 2 more races left, and gonna try and go out there and win one of them at least.
Well, we wish you luck with that, Bobby. Congrats on a great performance here tonight. 3rd place at Limaland. We'll now give you the opportunity for some thank you sponsors and shoutouts.
I'd like to thank Master Millwright for sponsoring it, and you guys for broadcasting this, and TNR for having this whole league set up. And like to dedicate this. Well, I like to have it as a win, but it's 3rd place to my grandfather, Bob Puckett.
Well, that is Bobby Puckett bringing it home. 3rd place here tonight, ties his best finish of the season, and is his 2nd finish inside of the top 5. Congratulations, Bobby. And, like we said, kind of the gloves are off for the next 2 races. Hopefully we'll see this 40 in victory lane in one or maybe both of them. And let's now see if we can talk with 2nd place finisher, Ethan Fisher. Hey, Ethan, it's Seth up here in the FRM booth. You got me? We'll give it another try here. Ethan, you got me up here in the booth?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, man. You gave it a heck of a try there on the final restart within striking distance, but it was looking like both you and the 69 liked running that top side. At any point in your mind there going towards turns 3 and 4 on that final lap, did you think maybe about trying to dive it down there in the bottom, try for a slide job to try and take this checkered flag?
I thought about it, but there wasn't much on the bottom or anything, and I didn't want a chance, taking him out because I know he's in the points in this series, and I'm just in here to have some fun.
We saw you make your debut back at Cedar Lake. You brought it home with a solid 6th place finish there. 2nd place here tonight. How easy or hard has it been to adapt to these other drivers' style of racing? Because it kind of seems like you've been able to take to it pretty well.
Actually, these guys are like the cleanest guys I've raced with in any league I've been with, so it's been pretty easy. It's a lot of fun racing here.
So far, 2 finishes inside of the top 6 in the 2 races that you've run. A couple of races that we got coming up. We got Fairbury next week, and then we got that dirt track at Charlotte. Are you looking forward to one or both? Do you think that one or the other gives you better odds to maybe be able to get your first win in this series?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Fairbury. I like the short tracks like here and Fairbury and Lanier. Anywhere you can run around the wall is where I like to run.
Well, Ethan, congratulations on your best finish of the season here. I know it's only your 2nd start, but a very impressive 2nd start with a runner-up here tonight at Limaland. We'll give you the opportunity now for some thank you sponsors and shoutouts.
All right, thanks. I just want to shout out the guys on the side of my car, the Drop Shot Call of Duty podcast. And if you check them out, let them know you heard about them here.
That's Ethan Fisher. Great run here tonight. 2nd place at Limaland in his 2nd start of the season. Congratulations, Ethan, and hopefully we'll be able to see you maybe finish one position better next week at Fairbury.
Yeah, I hope so. Thanks, guys.
Down to victory lane for the 5th time this season we go. Let's talk with, we'll put this in air quotes because it's not official yet, but it very well could be, with picking up a victory here tonight and opening up his points gap even more. Let's talk with Bobby Trapper. Hey, Bobby, it's Seth up here in the FRM booth. You got me?
Yep, I got you.
Man, 2nd time this season you go back-to-back in the Big Block Series. If there was any doubts last week that you had the championship locked up with only a limited number of weeks left on the schedule, I think it's pretty much iced here tonight. But I talked about the fact that you guys ran this track twice last season in Season 1, and you picked up a win in the 2nd time you came to this venue. Did that previous experience help you here tonight in working your way through traffic because you had to start outside of the top 5?
Yeah, I guess it probably helped. I definitely like this track. It's a shorter track, so it suits me a little bit better. And I just think I got lucky. The bottom was working as good as it was early in the race.
Yeah, talk about that because normally we end up seeing drivers towards the end of the race actually search for that grip down on the bottom because most drivers like to run the middle at the beginning of the race and up towards the top towards the end of the race. So there usually is some grip available on the inside line. What is it about Limaland that has it just a little bit different in terms of where drivers search for their grips at certain points of the race as opposed to some of the other bigger dirt tracks we've been to?
I think it's just such a tight track with small, tight corners that people tend to slide up to the middle and the top more here than at other tracks, which did leave that little bit of moisture at the bottom of the track a little longer.
So I'm certainly hoping I'm not throwing the commentator's curse on you, but I have to ask this. Twice, as I mentioned, you've gone back to back. Next week we go to Fairbury. Do we see the 69 machine go for 3 in a row?
I guess we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's just another good race like it was this week. Fairbury's another smaller track, so I definitely enjoy racing there.
Well, no doubt, Bobby, with the consistency you've had and the amount of times you've been able to put this machine in victory lane, it's certainly making it easier on you going into these final couple of races with mentality to just trying to go out there and finish with as many W's as possible because looks like that championship is all but yours when we get to the checkered flag in 2 weeks' time at Charlotte. So congratulations on that. Congratulations on the win here tonight, and we're now going to give the opportunity for some thank you sponsors and shout-outs.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Just got to thank TNR, Master Millwright, and Thornton Graphics, Brian, Jason, Dave, everyone that puts this series on, and Garrett for running it. You guys for doing the broadcast. It's a fun series. Appreciate it.
Well, Bobby Trapper had 5 wins last season and 5 wins so far this season here for the TNR Master Millwright Big Block Series. Congratulations, Bobby. We look forward to seeing if maybe you can make the trifecta next week at Fairbury and then, of course, be able to then see if you can maybe sweep the Charlotte race with a win and a championship victory. So best of luck to you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
And that is going to conclude a very quick race here tonight at Limaland. I told you it wasn't going to take very long for them to turn circuits around this quarter-of-a-mile track. That was under green and under pacing. Kind of a bit of a sprint here tonight at this very short dirt track. But as we saw, these drivers, very talented. They're able to, at the limited amount of space available, still be able to put on great 3 and even 4 wide at some points racing for the fans here tonight. So definitely a very interesting track and a lot of fun there towards the end. Bobby Trapper picking up win number 5 on the season, and he's just got 2 more races to run. Doesn't really matter where he finishes in them because more than likely when he crosses the line to take the checkered flag in 2 weeks' time at Charlotte, he is going to be your champion of the Season 2 TNR Master Millwright Big Block Series. Next week, as mentioned, we're going to Fairbury. It's going to be the first time that's been on the schedule. They didn't run it last year, and I believe it's the first time I'll ever be seeing drivers at that track as well. So it'll be a learning experience for some of the drivers, as well as the commentator up in the booth. But thank you all for joining me here tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed our coverage here from Limaland, as Bobby Trapper is your winner here tonight. We'll see you guys next week as we are down the home stretch with only 2 races left here in the TNR Master Millwright Big Block Series. Join us in a few minutes as Anthony and I will be bringing you the action from the G4 Sim Racing Vintage Clothing Company Cup Series at Texas Motor Speedway. That green flag's going to be flying at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hope you'll join us for that. Thanks for joining me. I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of the Flatout Racing Network.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of Flatout Racing Network and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of Flatout Racing Network and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. Flatout Racing Network would like to thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.